Being a weaver in the 18th century used to be pretty taxing. Like many other trades, weaving was pursued domestically by cottage industries in small communities. We produced goods by hand from balls of cotton or wool. The invention of the flying shuttle enabled us to weave faster. This shift from handmade production to machine-made production was what kick-started the Industrial Revolution. A lot of things then changed. The Enclosure Acts, brought about by the British, ensured that lands were no longer considered common. So the Lords gained control over vast areas of land and adopted informed practices like crop rotation, adopted selective breeding to ensure higher yields, and got a lot of other inventions to mechanize every mundane work there was. This Agrarian Revolution increased crop production manyfold and ensured the availability of plenty of food and other raw materials. Since there was now more raw material, there was room to move from small-scale to large-scale production. Also, Britain had just found newer trade routes to Asia and Africa. These were places where raw materials could be sourced cheaply. This also helped step up production. Inventions like the spinning jenny, water frame, and the spinning mule came into use one after the other. The rich iron deposits of Britain were put to good use building such machines. The refined iron or steel became very popular among the other European countries because they were busy with, or they were kept busy with, the Napoleonic Wars, a series of battles by a coalition of European powers led by Britain against the French and their allies. The latter were led by Napoleon Bonaparte. All these wars happened elsewhere in Europe, not in Britain, which remained unaffected and was on a steady rise to become the most industrialized nation in the world. The invention of the steam engine pushed production to a different level altogether. The engines drove the automatic looms or power looms. Britain's plentiful coal deposits came in handy to drive these machines. Coal was used to run steam locomotives, and tar coal was used to pave roads. This practice of mass production was employed everywhere in England to manufacture steam locomotives and steam cars and build factories. Enter air pollution. Industries were usually located by the side of streams and canals to enable transportation through waterways and for discharging waste. Enter water pollution. The Industrial Revolution also had other social, political, and economic implications. A lot of people were rendered landless by the Enclosure Acts, which allowed the Lords to take control of common lands. The people displaced by this found themselves jobs in industries. Thousands of skilled workmen and craftsmen from Spain and France moved towards England in the wake of religious conflicts and the Napoleonic Wars on the mainland. Others migrated to the cities for employment, education, and enjoyment. This led to the development of new cities. Jobs that were previously done at home began to be carried out in industries. The availability of a large number of workers enabled the process of churning out huge volumes of goods. This increased productivity and national wealth. Industrialists accumulated immense wealth and prominence, even in the political arena, due to this. Industrialism gave rise to a political and economic system that had private owners at its center. This was commonly called capitalism. You may wonder what the problem here was. Well, the problem was that they accumulated so much and left so little for the workers. Workers had shifts lasting 12 to 15 hours a day. Women and children were employed because they were cheap labor. Ruthless exploitation was rampant. Women and children in coal mines were used to draw carts in place of animals that were usually used for this purpose. Workers lived in poverty and were forced to live in inhumane conditions with no facilities for lighting, heating, and hygiene. Hence, the workers were also plagued with different diseases.
If you like this video and want to watch many more amazing videos like these, like and subscribe to our channel now.